Hello, welcome to Cupertino Insight. My name is Dorothy Cornelius. I'm City Clerk of Cupertino and your host for this program. Tonight we're going to see several ways that you can get involved in your community. We're going to start with a look at the upcoming Parks and Recreation Department Spring Festival. We're going to see a special program our Parks and Rec Department offers. We're going to learn about summer job openings in that department. We'll also learn about an opening on one of the City Council's advisory committees. But we're going to start by meeting some very special people of Cupertino. Recently, about 240 people gathered at the Palo Alto Hills Country Club, not just to have a good time, but to pay honor to two very special citizens as Cupertino Citizens of the Year. Let's take a look at that event now.
It was a gala event as the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce held its annual Citizen of the Year Awards dinner. Barbara Koppel and Spiro Rafalovich were selected as the 1984 Citizens of the Year for their outstanding contribution to the community.
Just very, very pleased that you two are here with us this evening. Look at this, how very nice. Miss Great. And while Barbara and Spiro are standing here, we would like now to present you with some awards. I'd like to call our president, Nicole Lee, to present the Chamber Awards. Nicole?
First of all, I would like to read a few of the accomplishments both Spiro and Barbara have done. I've known both of them. I had the pleasure of serving under Spiro's presidency term. I enjoyed it, learned a lot. And of course, Barbara I know is a dear, dear friend. When I was running for city council, she helped me a lot. In 1983, Barbara was recognized for her civic service contributions from the city of Cupertino. People who have worked with her have focused on her enthusiasm and high energy level. That superb spirit, let's put it that way, she never tires out. This lady's on the phone at 1 a.m. in the morning. Has enabled her to perform many public service activities in the community. Among them are, she was PTA president at Regnart Elementary School, where she initiated many fundraising drives, such as a holiday boutique, the home tour, the talent show, and the Dime a Dip dinner. So, also she was president again at Monte Vista High School and served as chairman of the accreditation committee for Monte Vista. Her most ambitious educational project was co-founding of the Fremont Union School District Foundation, known as Super Schools. In this capacity, she co-chaired the overall fundraising campaign and was responsible for soliciting Steve Wozniak to be the honorary chair and raised a hell of a lot of money. Active participation in the Cupertino California Cupertino Soccer Club. She served as secretary in 81-82 and then later on became president. She also helped out with the snack shack operation for Saturdays. That's very important. That's where we served all the old hot dog buns from our activities. I'm only kidding. It's a little in-joke. She also co-founded the West Cupertino Homeowners Association in 1980, a group that now has around 250 members. Also, she was instrumental in having a traffic survey done the same year when Highway 85 corridor was to be abandoned. That's only 5 years ago, folks. The results of the survey convinced the City Council to fight for the right-of-way. She's also a member and secretary of the Cupertino Goals Committee in 1981 and secretary of the Multimodal Task Force last year. She's secretary of the West Valley Legislative Committee, and she's also on the Board of Managers for the Northwest YMCA. And she's also a fundraising member of the Major Donor Committee for Northwest YMCA. So, Barbara, you're a super lady. My applause out to you. I love you dearly. Thank you. active in Cupertino ever since he and his family arrived over 20 years ago. While he has personally kept a very low profile with his community involvement, many hundreds of Cupertino residents have been the beneficiary of his commitment to making his community a better place to live. Among the many public service and community endeavors he has been in are: he served as president of the St. Salva Church in Cupertino, and since 1973, he has been the treasurer for the Western Diocese of the Serbian Orthodox Church here in California. He's been a Kiwanis member since 1971, serving on all the standing committees and serving in all officer positions, including president in 1977. In 1980, he was awarded Kiwanian of the Year. Through his service in the Kiwanis Club, he spent many hours with the Senior Citizen Center in Cupertino and the local high schools with the youth and the scouts, the Little League, boys and girls soccer. Spiro's county involvement has been with the Crippled Children's Society in Santa Clara County since 1971. He has been a member on the board of directors since 1979 and has been instrumental in raising funds. One of his special projects is Camp Castano, I'm so tongue-tied tonight, the Crippled Children's Camp in Stevens Creek Canyon. Spiro assisted in building an administrator's cabin, painted the counselors' cabins, and did general camp maintenance, as well as finished the construction of a horse barn. Also joining the Cupertino Chamber in 1973, he served on the board of directors as vice president, secretary, treasurer, budget and finance committee, and was our president during the term 1980 and 1981. He has worked on all community projects involving the chamber, as well as being involved with a long-standing history with the U.S. Postal Service. And thank you, Spiro, for being a distinguished citizen of our community. It takes great pleasure for me to present to these two deserving citizens a plaque that really can't say enough. These people have donated thousands of hours to our community to make it a better place to live. Barbara, I would like to present to you a plaque from the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce 1984 Distinguished Citizen Award, presented to Barbara Koppel in recognition of outstanding service to the community. Spiro, I also like to read your plaque. It's from the Cupertino Chamber of Commerce 1984 Distinguished Citizen Award, presented to Spiro Rafalovich in recognition of outstanding service to the community. And this comes with love.
Thank you.
And now I'd like to introduce Marie, who will introduce the other presenters for the rest of the program. Marie?
Now I have the honor of introducing our Mayor, Phil Johnson.
There are two things really that make this occasion such a special one. The first being that this is always the best group of people ever assembled in this area. And the second is that somehow we always manage to select the best people for this award, and tonight is no exception. Nicole has done a very good job in highlighting their accomplishments, both Barbara's and Spiro's. And I happen to know both of them, and on behalf of the city, it's been a pleasure to work with them and to know them. It's my honor, and it's a high point really of being mayor, to be able to be here tonight and make these presentations to you on behalf of the City Council. And if each one of us could only use their lives and their countless hours of contributions to this community as a goal, we would all each be better off, and certainly this community would be thus more enriched by it. So Barbara and Spiro, thank you very much. And here are the presentations from the City of Cupertino.
These two outstanding citizens were also recognized for their contributions to the county and to the state.
State of California, Spiro, for your good work. Congratulations.
We caught them afterwards for a few comments.
It's very exciting. It really is. I'm overwhelmed. I'm really excited, and I'm deeply honored. There's just no other way to say it. I really appreciate this, and I thank the Chamber. I also thank them for not making it a surprise, because I was able to have my family here, and that was really exciting. I really do care about this community and the people in it, and therefore I think that those of us who are involved and do pursue the goals that we have to improve the community, I think it's a plus. It's hard work. We don't always reach our goals, but we don't give up.
Well, that was very nice, because it took all these years to accumulate the work. You know, you work on various committees and various organizations, and finally it comes to a head, and that's what happened to us here, so we're very happy about it.
The City of Cupertino extends its congratulations to those two very special people. And speaking of special people, here in the studio with me is Ray Rooker, a former member of the city's Architectural and Site Approval Committee. Ray, exactly what is the Architectural and Site Approval Committee, and what are the kinds of things it does?
I knew you were going to start with the hard questions first, Dorothy. Architecture and Site, or ASAC as most people refer to it, is an advisory commission. We meet on a monthly basis, twice a month. We review applications that are made to the city for new real estate development projects. Primarily our concern is how these projects will affect the city. What are they going to look like? How do they affect traffic? All of the various ramifications that the city should be concerned about. We are an advisory committee. We put together a series of comments, questions, proposals. Sometimes if we feel strongly about a project, we will recommend its approval. If we have some concerns about it, we will pass those concerns on to Commission and Council.
I see. I understand you are a former member at this point. You have recently resigned, which means that there is an opening on that particular committee. I do want to emphasize that you did resign because you are moving outside the city limits, not because you didn't really want to serve on that committee anymore. Your term of office would have expired in September of 1988, I believe, so it's still a long term going on. What in particular do you feel that contributed to making it a good experience for you, Ray?
First of all, I would preface that by saying that Cupertino is a unique city. It's a town of people and people who care. I've been very impressed with everyone involved. That would include members of staff at City Hall. That would include all our elected officials, and that would include existing and past commissioners who have served. I think the most rewarding thing for myself has been the opportunity to work with people who care. It's been the opportunity to get involved and be aware of what's going on. Perhaps that's a little bit general. There are a lot of intangible things that one could talk about. Sometimes it feels pretty nice to drive down the street and see a project that you somehow made a better project by either making a suggestion for an architectural change or by perhaps speaking up and preventing someone else at City Hall from making a change to what was already a pretty fine project. So there are a lot of intangible things such as that also.
What are some of the buildings currently in existence that passed through ASAC while you were on there?
Oh, geez.
Can you think of any really major ones?
Oh, I can think of probably all of them. I've been involved with ASAC probably, what, 4 years now, if I remember correctly. It's kind of exciting. There are several different areas in Cupertino now that are in the process of being developed. One, I would think of the Prometheus project. That's probably the most exciting thing that we currently have underway. That's a project, the group of buildings that are going up now at Stevens Creek Boulevard and De Anza. Most people drive by and they see just the one preliminary building, which is off of the corner of De Anza Boulevard, and I would urge everyone to get a look at the Chamber of Commerce magazine, which has a color photograph of the master plan for that area, and that is just going to be tremendously exciting when that entire project is complete. That is not a distant thing, that is an imminent thing, and again, most people don't realize that that is just going to be very, very exciting.
That should be a real focal point in
Sure.
the city. Now, Ray, I know you are an architect. Is it necessary to be an architect to serve on ASAC?
It helps. It's not necessary. I would say that the first prerequisite is to care about the city and to care what your city looks like. Secondly, I would say, and along with caring comes awareness. I would also preface that by saying conscious awareness. I think as an architect, subconsciously, I believe that everyone is aware of their environment. One drives down the street and you're affected by whether or not there are trees along the sidewalk. You're affected by the fact that you may be driving by a 6-story building versus a 2-story building. You're affected by the quality of that design. I think for a person to be helpful and useful on our particular commission, I think that just awareness of those things, I think that that is very important.
Ray, I want to thank you very much for being here today, and certainly thank you on behalf of the city for all of your input over the years and your help to make this a very fine community in which to live.
My pleasure. Thank you very much, Dorothy.
If you're interested in applying for ASAC, please contact the City Clerk's Department at 252-4505. As I told you last time, each week we are going to feature a little segment showing a Parks and Recreation class. I'd like to show you one now. It's a special program on dog obedience.
Has man's best friend been giving you something to growl about lately? If so, a dog obedience class offered by Cupertino Parks and Recreation trains him on all he needs to master, or rather, how much you need to master. These evening classes offer the do's and don'ts of doggy discipline.
Try to walk them into a stand so that they're standing square like this. Repeat the word stay for about 10 seconds, then stand up next to your dog, and you always heel the dog out 2 steps from this exercise. So you're going to say Shasta heel, 2 steps, make them sit, and then praise. Good girl.
It may be a workout, but the results are certainly a treat.
Good boy, good boy. Oh, that's a good boy.
Well, I'm learning how to work him right, which I didn't know, and I'm learning more control over him. I've really been mealy-mouthed with him at home. But he's learning to behave with me, because he's usually just all over me. And he's learning now. I can see it when we're at home. I just want him to listen to me at all times, no matter what's going on. If he's across the street and there's a car coming and he's running towards me, I want him to stop and stay when I tell him to stay. He just doesn't like to stay yet, but I think we're going to get it somewhere along the line. Good. Come on, stay. Stay. Brandy, see? Here we go. Brandy, sit. Yeah, he likes other doggies just to play with, unfortunately. Our neighborhood has always seen him out running around just wildly, and I want to be able to go, hey, look at this, see how good he's doing, and they've noticed a difference so far, but I want to say, ta-da, it's my dog.
That's just a sample of one of the programs Parks and Recreation offers. During the summer, there is an increase in programming. This means that there are job openings. And here to talk about that is Carol Scurich from that department. Carol, what kind of additional programs do you offer during the summer months?
Well, this summer we'll be offering programs in the day camp area, nature camp, our aquatics program, which is a large program that we have at two pools in Cupertino High School and Monte Vista High School. We have our playground program, lots of sports programs, our sports camps, and then along with the other specialty classes and programs that we also offer as well throughout the year and then also during the summer.
It's a lot of extra programming. You must need a lot of extra people. What kind of qualified people are you looking for?
Well, Dorothy, what we're really looking for are people that really love children and are real interested in working with children. The qualifications really vary. It depends on the type of position that you're applying for. But everything from starting with very little experience, possibly a volunteer type situation, babysitting, working with children on your block, things like that, all the way up to, we ask for college courses in the recreation area, up to having had job experience working with children, supervising children, as well as supervising staff. So it really varies.
But in what particular areas are you looking for extra people at this time?
In all the areas that I specifically talked about, we do have many people that are returning from last summer, but we do have some openings as well. Probably one of our biggest areas, again, is the aquatics area, and we're looking for senior lifeguards and lifeguards. What constitutes a senior lifeguard is the requirements are that they must have WSI, or water safety instruction, CPR, and they must have had experience in the aquatics area. Senior lifeguards work directly with the children and teach swim lessons as well as lifeguarding during recreational swim. The lifeguards are asked to have their advanced life-saving card, Red Cross advanced life-saving card, as well as we really stress that we like them to have their CPR as well. And they will do some aid teaching as well as lifeguarding at the pool. In the day and nature camp area, we're looking for people that will work with children in both those camps. They work with children ranging from ages 3.5 all the way up to 10 years old. It's a day camp experience in that they spend either half day in the morning or in the afternoon, and they'll be working with the children doing arts and crafts, games, cooking projects, tours, a variety of recreational type programs. And then the playground area, which is an afternoon program. And basically the same thing. They'll do a lot of the recreational programs similar to the camps as well.
These sound like ideal jobs for teenagers on their summer vacation. Is there a minimum age requirement here?
Yes, we do, Dorothy. We ask that you be 16 years old to apply for a position with us. Now, of course, we are always looking for volunteers, too, and those people that might be interested in getting involved in aiding in our program are very much encouraged to do so if you're not 16, and then there's possibilities of working that into a job but in future years. But we do ask that you be 16, and many of our people probably I'd say the average age of people that work for us are between 18 and 22, around in there. And I really like to stress that if you do enjoy children, it's a wonderful job during the summer. You're outdoors. It's fun. There's a lot of work involved, too, a lot of planning, a lot of supervision. You have a lot of responsibility, but also that comes with that is really a lot of fun and being outdoors and working with kids that really is very enjoyable.
It sounds like it would be a lot of fun and a good chance to do something constructive with your vacation rather than sitting at home bored or getting a job at a local fast food shop or something, and contribute to the community once again. Yeah. How would someone interested apply for a position?
We've been currently accepting applications, Dorothy, since the 1st of March, but are continuing to do so until April 17th. If you are interested, what you can do is come out to the Parks and Recreation Department, which is right out on McClellan Road, McClellan Ranch Park, between the hours of 8 and 5, Monday through Friday, and pick up an application and you can turn it in there as well, or you can come to City Hall to the Personnel Department and pick one up and turn one in there. And again, that's till April 17th. So if you're real interested, I would encourage people to do that right away.
Right. You say you do get a lot of repeat college students, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They may start in high school, but they end up in college. But every year there are openings.
We do have openings, most definitely. It depends from year to year. Variety of reasons why people might and might not come back. I would say that probably we have anywhere between 10 to 20 openings, and that's just an approximation at this point. We're still waiting for people from last year to respond to our letters about returning. But there are, lots of openings in all those different areas that I talked about, and I would encourage people to do so. One thing that's real good, I think, about a recreation job is that it is summer. We hire just for the summer. Many of those positions are summer only. But if you do go away to school and then come back to the area, as many people do, back to where their families are, you can always count on coming back to a job. You don't have to come back, say, at the end of May or June and hunt for that job again. Mm-hmm. If you did do a good job with us the previous year, we send out letters seeing if you are interested in coming back, and it's real nice. It's a secure feeling to know that you've got a good job to come back to for the summer.
Oh, I think that's wonderful. And I want to thank you very much for being here today, Carol. It's always good to see you. And I have no doubt you'll find lots of applicants for your summer positions.
Thanks, Dorothy.
And speaking of Parks and Recreation, let's take a look at a very special event that's coming up soon. To see all of you at Memorial Park on March 30th from 10 to 1, joining in on the Spring Festival. Thank you very much for watching Cupertino Insight. Good night.